listening to Lead to Greatness. Hello. Welcome to episode number 9 of Lead to Greatness, where we believe in helping others reach their greatest potential, and together we can change the world. Today on Lead to Greatness, I have my pastor, Pastor Jamail Johnson, joining me on today. If this is your first time joining the Lead to Greatness community, I want to invite you to subscribe wherever you are listening or watching. I want you to be looking out for valuable content every Thursday. I want to say a big thank you to those who are sharing across your social media platforms. If this content is helpful to you, please write a review, leave a comment, like, and rate it to help get the word out. Man, that'll mean a lot to me. Today on Lead to Greatness, help me welcome Pastor Jamail Johnson.
Without preaching, I think there are some people who actually are now understanding that where we were prior to COVID-19, we had decorated the wilderness so great that we had convinced ourselves we were living in the promised land.
Wow.
Because in the wilderness, God provides. He drops manna and quail, water coming out of rocks, got you. But when you get to the promised land, you have to till that ground. You got to plant the seeds. But the difference that comes with this, Pastor Francis, is that when you were in the wilderness, yes, he provided, but there was only a daily provision. Remember, the children of Israel were getting sick because they were trying to make doggy bags and go back home and eat it the next day. But in the wilderness, you had a daily provision, but in the promised land, he gave you acres of land. Yes, you had to get out there. Yes, you had to sweat. Yes, you had to plant seeds. But listen to this. It wasn't just for a day. You were able to have generational wealth in your backyard.
Oh, yes,
it's
sir.
somebody who's comfortable with just getting manna and quail for the day. But it's somebody, God is using this opportunity to give you space and opportunity. Generational wealth is at your fingertips. Now the question that you have to ask God, what seeds do you want me to plant?
Yes.
What business do you want me to create? What do you want me to go after? How do you want me to shift? How do you want me to make this work? One, so you can get the glory, but then two, so you can shift my storyline. So now generations to come, they're going to inherit what I planted in the promised land and not what I had to survive through while I was in the wilderness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a drop the mic moment there. Wow. Wow. I'm sitting right now. Wow. Here it is. Okay. We're in this COVID-19 era.
Yeah.
Prior to COVID-19, you mentioned early Blockbusters. Blockbusters was the biggest company, and now they don't even exist.
Right.
Baylor, your 6-year-old niece, have no clue what Blockbuster is. That's ancient to her. Yeah. Kodak is history. Kodak had an opportunity with digital cameras back in the 80s, and they failed. And now they don't exist. Sony and Canon has taken over that industry. You have Toys R Us. I mean, they're disappearing. The place where a kid can be a kid is no longer in existence.
Yeah.
And one thing I was just thinking about just recently, I was talking to my wife about this. You have the yellow cab. You have Uber. Uber's has only been around for maybe 5 years max. Uber's been around. And my thing, and I was telling my wife, I said, babe, Yellow Cab was been trying to fight with Uber for years. I said, the only thing they had to do is just get them an app. All they had to do was do what Uber was doing, but they was refusing to change. They were stuck in this game that's coming to an ending instead of just changing with the time. And you mentioned your niece. Baylor. We watch her on Facebook. Matter of fact, just seen you and her rocking it out on Facebook 2 days ago. That was awesome. All right, so here it is. So Baylor's 6 years old.
Yes.
6 years old, and to be honest, she come up in a generation that at 1-2 years old, I mean, they operating iPads better than people in their 40s.
Yeah.
So here they are. So now Baylor is already 6 years old. She's in the iPad generation. She know about the iPad, the iPhones, and all this stuff been out 10 years, 11 years prior to right now. And she's 6 years old. How does businesses and also ministries, the kingdom of God, prepare for someone like Baylor?
You have to listen, and you can't be selfish. Do you know at the end of March, it was reported 88,000 new ministries came online.
Wow.
At the end of March, 88,000 new. This is not even talking about your new D's, your TWCs, your Potter House, your Lakewoods, who was already there. 88,000 new people came.
Wow.
Hear me when I tell you this. That was 88,000 people who did not believe in the power of social media to begin with. This is now a reactionary decision.
Right.
If you close down my church, the only thing I can do is now be online.
Oh.
Could it have been there was somebody that was trying to tell them, hey, it's a new wave coming, something new is happening? Oh, we ain't got time to listen to that. We got Sunday school, 9 o'clock. We got 11 o'clock morning worship. We got BTU.
Sunday school, 2 people.
Yeah. And so what happened was we were so bound with tradition that we were missing a total generation. I don't think, if you get around certain circles in church, they start talking about, young people, they don't go to church and,
Right.
we done lost them and stuff like that. But we both know we're not losing them. We're just not speaking their language.
Right. Young people love Jesus. I know the millennials, they love Jesus.
They love him.
Yeah.
But we're not speaking their language.
Right.
So how do I attract Baylor? How do I attract a Baylor generation? Is I have to stop being selfish, because I even did this at the Word Church. I had a focus group. What are you looking for in a church? I looked at married couples. I looked at singles. I looked at older men. I looked at young men. I looked at older women. I looked at younger women. I looked at teens. I even started to go and have focus groups with my kids. What are you looking for in church? Because in my selfishness, I could be missing you. You could be coming to the building every Sunday, but I can't build with you because you're looking for somebody that can speak to your needs. And so if you are just attached to Pastor J because you like my personality, it's going to come a storm in your life that I didn't prepare you for, because you were with me because I was cool, but I never heard what you needed. So I didn't give you the tools that you needed to survive. So I had to get to a place where I listened. So if you are a pastor, if you are an entrepreneur, customer feedback is king, King. Customer feedback is king. What I have found out with entrepreneurs, and I wear both hats. So what I found out with entrepreneurs, most entrepreneurs are so eager to get the sale that they miss the opportunity to get a referral.
Ooh, say that again, Pastor.
You're so eager to get the sale, you miss the opportunity to get the referral.
Wow.
See, the sale mentality is the wilderness mentality. I have, just using my wife's business as an example, I got 5 candles. I need to move these 5 candles. What do I have to do to get these 5 candles out of the way? Having the referral mentality is, these 5 candles may not be selling. These may be 5 candles that I need to donate.
Ooh.
So if I donate them to somebody, I now have them in the thought process of pushing my business onto somebody else. So from 1 candle, I only had 5, but I have now exposed myself to now thousands of other people because I put inside of the candle, because she has these candles with girl formations on there. And so one of them is, girl, you got this. And so we were talking and I gave her this little tidbit. I say, send a couple of candles out and write a thank you note in there and tell them, I'm praying for you, girl, you got this.
Wow.
And ask them to share this on their social media. So her thought process shift. She's thinking about the referral, because now if I post this candle that I had to eat the cost and somebody else posted it for me, and now it's on their social media, it's now exposed to 5,000 of their friends when all I was trying to do was get $12 for a candle. So the thought process is even in church, I have to think about the sacrifice. What can I give? So even in that, we never, when we did our outreach stuff at the Word Church, and as we do our outreach stuff, we never do outreach on Sunday. And it'd be so many people wonder, well, why you don't do that? Is because I want to show them I'm more concerned about meeting your need than you sitting in my seat.
Yes.
Because I could be looking for a picture, a photo op on Sunday just to say we had a packed house.
Yeah.
Then I used you and you were only there to get a tablet and some pencils. But I understand on Saturday, if I give you school supplies, it's a totally different thought process. Now you're asking, what church is this?
Yes.
How can I be a part of them? They have a heart to give and they're not trying to strong arm me and put me in their seats. So the thought process is customer feedback. Don't be selfish, because even in our personal thoughts, and I want to say this even from a preacher standpoint, in our personal thoughts, we preach from where we are personally. What are you saying, Pastor Jay? If you read Psalms 23 when you got a promotion, if you read Psalms 23 when you bought a new house, if you read Psalms 23 on your honeymoon, it's a totally different connotation when you read Psalms 23 and you just lost your job.
Are you sure?
When you read Psalms 23 and the mom that you've been praying for just passed. Now you start to preach from a place of what you are experiencing.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem and you are preaching from your problem place, if people in your seats don't have their problem, you're missing them. So if you're talking about the struggle, no good baby daddy, people in the hood, and you are trying to get a group of people that are progressive, that are career-minded, in their heads, he's not speaking my language. So you have to ask that question. So even in your business, what do your customers want? Try to figure out how you can have a questionnaire after the purchase. Send a thank you card along with whatever you're sending them, thanking them for their purchase. How can we serve you better? And then let them know because of completing that, you're going to give them 10% off on their next purchase. What you are doing is the 10% not going to kill you, but what is happening is that 100% worth of their true evaluation of your business is going to help you perfect. And then this is the last thing that I'm going to say. This is how you get Baylor. Is that if Baylor says she don't like what you are serving, don't take it personal. We have so many people that get upset because somebody just said, well, I don't like that. Well, the music's too loud. The church service is too long. You got to think about it. Man, we're in a digital age now, and you still have churches on Sunday that's still trying to have 3-hour services. The attention span is 3 seconds. That's why Facebook is capturing video views by 3 seconds. So if you're still trying to have an A and B selection, the deacon's trying to come and do devotion, and you try to do all this online, you're going to miss people. How can you capture them in that moment? And if shifting, there's a group of brothers in the Bible that I love, man, the sons of Issachar. And the reason why they stuck out more than anybody else is the Bible said that they were able to tell the signs of time. They were able to tell that there was a shift that was happening, but they were able to speak to the shift. So many of us can see what's going on, but because we're so rigid and we are so stuck in our ways, we will not adapt to what's going on.
I was looking through your Instagram, just trying to, just looking for different things, getting ready for the interview. This quote is from October 29th, 2018 on Instagram. The quote says, "The most dangerous thing you can do in life is play it safe." Pastor J. What did you mean by that?
Man, I'm a faith talker, man. And the children of Israel, with so much potential, man, they scared me in so many times in their history, is because there would be times where they would be staring at their destiny and they missed it because they played it safe. Think about the generation that God had already told Moses is yours, right? Matter of fact, he told Abraham, I'm going to give it to you. Moses just had to walk him through. But Moses inherits a group of people who just really wanted to be out of Egypt. They talked promised land, but they were satisfied with the wilderness. And so you had 12 spies that go out, they come back, they bring grapes the size of somebody's head. Man, it's milk and honey over there, man. They went over there and came back. That should have been proof that they could handle it. They come back, and then Moses like, all right, man, we'll give you our report to the people. 10 out of the 12 said we can't do it. 2 out of the 12 said we can. But the determining factor was the perception that the 10 had. The 10 said, we look like grasshoppers in their eyes. Now, Pastor Francis, I know you're a theologian. I know you can wear that text out. But man, I never saw in the Bible where they had a conversation with anybody.
Right.
There was no time that they talked to anybody and said, hey man, how do you see us?
Yeah.
That was them projecting their fears on others. And so many people are playing it safe. They are now projecting their fears on other people. They won't buy from me. Everybody else is doing it. So let me just do this. I'm going to tell you this. I don't care if it's 10 million people doing the same thing that you have a desire to do. It's 7 billion in the planet.
Yes, sir.
And because of the internet, you have access to about 60% of them.
Yeah.
The thing that I was saying that day was the most dangerous thing you can do is play it safe, because nobody in history made anything historical playing it safe. You have to go against the grain. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to talk big boy talk, but you have to walk big boy walk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Those children of Israel was something else.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they had the grapes, they had everything, but they wouldn't accept the evidence. They wouldn't deal with it. I want to shift a little bit. So I want to shift the conversation a little bit and ask you, if you could have dinner with 3 people dead or alive, who would those people be?
First person for sure, Kobe Bryant. That's my guy. I would love to have picked his brain. I have a book in my office, The Mamba Mentality, and man, it's just the way he thought, the way he saw things. The second person, quite naturally, I think is worth the conversation. I would love to talk to Dr. King. When I was growing up, I was a huge fan of Dr. King. And as I got older, I learned that there was a different Dr. King than we saw, because there was a shift in his latter years where he fought a different fight than the one that we just see with the I Have a Dream. And he was confronting things on a totally different level with a different push, a different zeal, a different demeanor. I would love to talk to him. And then, man, I want to talk to Jesus. I know I'm going to talk to him when I get to heaven, but I want to talk to him while I'm on this side and just look at him in his face, man. Just ask him, like, bruh, like, what made you stay on that cross when he
man,
don't do? You know what I'm saying? So, and just see if he can teach me how to walk on water. You know, that's yeah, man. So Kobe Bryant, you know, Dr. King and Jesus, man. You know, I think I would hope that in my life, I exemplify some characteristics that they have. You know, the resilience on the court. You know, Kobe had tearing his Achilles and stood and shot his own free throws and walked off of the court. You know, there's going to be some injuries that you're going to have. Right. But, you know, even in that injury, he showed that he was willing to walk in pain rather than be somebody else's burden. You know, there's some people that got to get packed off. But he realized that I grit my teeth and I fight through this, you know. And then Dr. King fighting a fight that was brought to his doorstep that he didn't ask for. I mean, think about this young pastor, upstart, you know, had an amazing church at Ebenezer, could have stayed there. But he grabbed a fight that we are benefiting from, you know, some 50 years later. And definitely Jesus, you know, man. I will pray that I have something remotely close to Jesus inside of me, especially if I'm a Christian.
Right. How has failure shaped you?
Oh, wow. I had to learn this along the way because I've said this, that my biggest fear is failure. Anybody that's remotely close to me, they know that that's my biggest fear is failure. But as I grew older, I understood that failure is a part of the journey to success.
Yes, sir.
We wouldn't even have a light bulb if he hadn't failed along the way. But
Thousands of
but the
times.
thing about it is how will you accept the failure? Will you accept it as a teaching opportunity, or will it be so crippling that you give up on the thing that you have a desire to do?
Yeah.
Even looking at the light bulb, he kept going, but I think, especially from a scientific standpoint, he's probably writing down what he did before.
Yeah.
And this is why it's not staying lit.
Yeah.
Let me try this. Let me try that. So it wasn't that he had 100 light bulbs and he just screwing them in, and every time he turned the light on, it exploded. He was learning something every time. And
Yeah.
because he learned those things, he perfected it along the way. So that's the thing. When you are able to see those failures as a lesson and learn from it, you failed forward. You didn't fall backwards. And even in falling forward, you still made progress. Um, Magic Johnson say we don't have losses, we have learns.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so that L that you took, it wasn't a loss, it was a learn, because it prepared you for your next win. I'm an avid basketball player. Man, I'm watching old NBA games on YouTube, man, trying to keep my sanity because the league goes down. But man, when I study the greats, the reason why they go back and watch game tape, and if you are really one of those greats, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, they go back, they don't just watch the games that they won in, they watch the games that they lost in more. Because the only person that I'm going to hold accountable is me, but I need to see where I messed up to ensure that I don't mess up, because this may be my last time playing and I can't afford to make the same mistakes. I got to be better next time.
What's your favorite leadership or business book?
I think everything by John Maxwell.
Yes, I love
But
it.
I will be honest with you. The book that really revolutionized my thought process, and it revolutionized my thought process from a business standpoint, but it impacted the church, was Going from Good to Great by Jim Collins.
You recommend that book
Um,
to me. It blessed me. Yes, sir.
yes, sir. I even had our leadership team at the church read it because he literally lined out how failure could be right at your fingertips.
Mm.
But just from the shift of a few things, even going back to our thought in the beginning, talking about systems, if you don't even have systems in place, you'll think that you need to shut the whole thing down. But when you shift from going good to great, and it's a lot of people who have great potential, but they have accepted being good. And so, man, this book, man, really challenged me. And I will say that it opened my eye, but more so, it trained my eye to find the great in every good opportunity.
Last thing we get into the wire. What are some great insights you can give to the Lead to Greatness family to help them reach their greatest potential?
Uh, the first one I'll say is you're not crazy. I know, man, when you are a visionary, when you are aspiring to do something that's bigger than you, especially when you're not coming from a place where it's being handed to you, right? So you're not coming from a place where you are, third generation, fourth generation, you're not inheriting an insurance company, you're not inheriting a real estate business, you're not fourth generation pastor.
Right.
If you're the first of something, you're not crazy. And you probably think you're crazy because you keep on thinking about it and you're looking at what you have and what you have access to and maybe what you have done in the past. What I don't want you to do is be your own worst enemy and try to rationalize your potential, your tomorrow potential, based on your production from yesterday. I'll say that again. I don't want you to try to rationalize tomorrow's potential from your production from yesterday,
Right.
because you will only able to produce what you produced yesterday based on what you went through the day before that. But there is so much in store for you. So you're not crazy. Just keep on going. The second thing that I would say is stay committed. Because it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be some days where you don't want to get out of bed. It's going to be some days that you don't want. I don't want another Zoom meeting.
Right.
I don't want to do nothing else. It's not working. It's going to be some days where you're going to feel like you're not progressing. But I want you to stay committed. Keep showing up, because that very well could be the day that you get what you were looking for, that you could get the contract that you're looking for, that you could get the breakthrough that you're looking for in your business or in your church. This is the third thing that I will say. Stay connected. If you're a part of this family, stay connected. Pastor Francis, if you're meeting him and you're following him from the pastoral standpoint, if you're looking at him from a leadership standpoint, from a business standpoint, if it's Cedric Francis to you, however you see him, we're not going to chastise you if you don't put pastor on there.
Right.
But I do want you to stay connected to a group of like-minded people. It's always crazy how when I talk about my wife, and I keep on talking about her, man, because she's one of my proteges, and I love what's happening with her and her candle company. But she always comes back and she tells me things that have been taught, that she read or that she saw in a candle group that she's on Facebook. Why is that important? She's not just a part of a business group. She's a part of a candle group, because it's certain things that are only going to be revealed with those people that I won't get from a group of people that have car detailing companies.
Yeah.
Be around like-minded people. Jump on these podcasts and let this be the fuel that you get to keep on going further. And if at first you don't succeed, man, keep on trying. Keep on trying until you are successful, because I just feel led to tell somebody on here that it's somebody behind you that possibly has your same last name, that hasn't seen success like the success that you are about to have. Wow. And if you stop now, this new story that God is trying to birth in your storyline is going to be pushed back a whole generation. And it's too late in the game for us to be playing catch up. We need to keep passing the batons, not dropping them and starting over again. We need to pass it. And even if you can't finish the whole lap, get me a couple of meters under your belt so I can pick up where you left off.
Wow, Pastor Jay, this interview has been a tremendous blessing to me. I promise you, I could sit here and listen to you all day. I know your time is important. I want to definitely value your time. I all the information, all the value that you have given to us on today. If someone wants to reach out to you, how would they do so? Where should they go?
www.jtjohnson.org. That's it. And I will suggest this to every person that's on. Buy your name. Buy your name. Go to GoDaddy. Go and buy your name. The reason why that happened to me, I don't know if you remember when Oprah Winfrey had given this amazing speech at the Golden Globe Awards. This was right before President Trump was elected. And so there was this whole thought process. The campaign was going on then, but there was this thought process about what if Oprah Winfrey would run for president for 2020. And so that next day, everybody was talking about Oprah 2020, Oprah 2020. She had an interview on Good Morning America, and they asked her, would you consider running for president? She said, nah, it'd be too expensive. And they started laughing. Say, why would it be too expensive? You're Oprah Winfrey. She said, well, somebody already bought the website. And she said, I tried to go back and purchase it. And they said that it would cost me $500,000 if I wanted it. They had gone that night on the heels of her speech and purchased Oprah Winfrey for President.com. So that let me know. And everywhere I go, if I'm speaking in corporate America, I'm speaking in collegiate level, I'm talking about even career day with kids. I'm telling them, when you go home ask your mom and daddy to let you buy your name on GoDaddy. And the reason why this is important is because you don't know what this name is going to be worth.
Woo.
You're looking at you right now.
Yes.
But 10 years from now, it might be $1 million name. And the thing that you don't want to have to do is go and ask somebody for permission for you to be you.
Yeah. Wow. This has been an outstanding and amazing interview. I want to say thank you so much for adding value to my life in the last 7 years. I'm definitely thankful for your life, for your example, for all that you not just doing for me in my life, but you're doing for the Word Church, the things that you're doing in the community, the things that you're doing in Aldine School District. I'm just so excited. Even what happened last year, running for the board of directors for from Aldine. I definitely I want to get into that, but we probably have to say that for another day.
Yeah,
I definitely
that's a whole episode within itself.
Right. I definitely just so awesome. And like I said, you have so much going on, and I just want to invite you right now. Sometimes maybe before the year is out, having you back on Lead to Greatness to talk about what you have going on, and because we haven't even, man, we just scratched the surface of the conversation, and all the information and all the things that you have to give. Pastor Jay, he has this book out right now. It's called How to Write a Highly Effective Business Plan. If you're starting a business, go ahead and go to his website and download that. Download that today. It's great resources. I purchased it, and it's definitely been a blessing to me. And they also have insight on what to do, and it walks you right through the steps. From A to B, of this, writing you a business plan. So go ahead and get that business plan started by going to his website right now. Give him that website again, Pastor.
It's www.jtjohnson.org. And on there, you get a link to the church, to the Fulfillment Project, to Increase Me, to my bookstore, to my styling website. You get it. You'll be able to follow me on social media. All of that is right there.
Wow. Yeah. Once again, thank you again. On behalf of the Lead to Greatness family, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your business schedule on today and joining us. Again, thank you, Lead to Greatness, for joining us on today. Looking forward to spending time with you again on next week. Until then, remember, if you help others reach their greatest potential, together we can change the world. God bless you. Peace.